Welcome to the U.S. Department of Defense Budget Analysis Demonstration. This demo was created using data from the U.S. Department of Defense and is geared towards government agencies, specifically government financial executives. In this video, we will walk through a storyline of how a budget analyst can determine if there is a trend with regards to how much military organizations request in their budget versus how much they actually receive. In this scenario, I am a budget analyst and I am curious if there is a trend with regards to how much the Department of Defense requests for their budget and how much they actually receive. I will start by looking at the total budget allocation year-over-year chart to see what the trend looks like the past few years. I can see that both the amount that the Department of Defense requests and the amount that they have been approved for has been dropping in the past few years. This year they requested $7.4 million and received $11.2 million, which is more than 2 times less than they received in 2010, which was $25.8 million. Let's see how this breaks down by organization. The authorized amount chart confirms what we saw on the dashboard. The requested amount has had a downward trend over the past few years for most of the organizations. Let's take a look at the heat map at the top of the sheet. The size of the blocks in this chart represents the budget amount. The larger the block, the more the organization budgeted for. The coloring represents the percent difference between the budget amount requested and the amount received. Red means the organization received less than what they budgeted. The light gray means there was a little difference between what they requested and what they received. And the green means that the budget approved exceeded what was requested. We can see that in 2013, the Army budgeted for the most at $3.7 million. Based on the coloring in the heat map, we can see that in 2013, most organizations received what they requested, represented in the light gray, or they did not receive as much as they requested, which is represented by the red. There is just one organization, NSA, which received more than they budgeted for. It is the other operational facility category. I'm curious how this heat map looked last year. In 2012, there is a lot less red and more green, indicating that more organizations received more than they requested. Looking at 2011, there is even more green. If we drill down for Army, whose budget was the largest, we can get a better look at the facility categories that make up their budget. Enlisted personnel, unaccompanied personnel housing, and training buildings have the largest budgets. I would like to see what Army projects were budgeted for. On the report sheet, I can create an ad hoc report with the fields that I am interested in. I already have Army selected. That selection was carried over from the previous sheet. I will select 2013 from the fiscal year list box. Now I can select the dimensions and the measures that I want to see on my report. Here on the right, I can see my report being built and I can see what projects the Army budgeted for in 2013. Using the Fast Change option, I can also view my report as a pivot table. I will print the report for my records. In this scenario, a budget analyst can analyze the budget trends for the Department of Defense, drill down in the data, and focus on specific organizations and create ad hoc reports. This demo illustrates how QlikView can be used by a government agency to analyze their budget data from multiple disconnected Excel spreadsheets to get a better look at their organization budget requests and investments over the years. Thank you for taking the time to watch the U.S. Department of Defense Budget Analysis Demonstration.